Hi and welcome to my Random Ruminations. I'm recording this on Sunday evening at about 9 p.m. This morning at about 2 o'clock in the morning I witnessed one of the most horrible things I've ever seen in my life. Possibly the most horrible. Two guys outside my house on the other side of the main street, 40 feet maybe from my front door, were holding down and kicking the ever-living shit out of a third guy. I suppose I should start at the start. I couldn't sleep, so I came downstairs to work on my Minecraft server, trying to get it finished, trying to get the big build finished. And I start hearing this roaring from outside in the street. Now, if you watch my vlog, you know that in the past I've had my bins and what have you knocked over and stuff like that happen. So I was like, oh great, here we go again. So I look out the window and it's these two shaven-headed guys. One was probably in his 30s, the other guy was in his 40s, and the guy in his 30s has this third individual just locked up in his arms and legs, and he's screaming at the other guy to kick him in the head and he did. He kicked him in the head. He kicked the victim in the head and the throat over and over and over. There's things about the way my mind works that I sometimes truly hate, and one of the things I truly hate is that I automatically count. If I eat a meal, I know how many chews I've used to eat that meal. I just do it without thinking. I'm aware of numbers all the time, in a counting sense. So, in the time that I was watching, they kicked the victim in the head almost 20 times. I kind of lost count because I looked away. Thank fuck I lost count. I don't want to know that. But they kicked the fucking shit out of him. So I rang the police and they arrived. The police arrived about 8 minutes later, which is very quick for the police in this area. Very, very quick. Mind you, it was also the traffic course, so it's not really all that surprising. And but the two guys had left about a minute before the police arrived, and they just went legging up the end of the town and just vanished into the night. I think they went up through a park back up to Lucan. I'm not certain, but that's what I think. And the Gardaí administered first aid, took statement, and a few minutes later the ambulance arrived and he was taken away. He was still alive. But the thing is, they weren't beating him, they were trying to kill him. If you're beating someone, you don't kick them in the head and kick them in the throat. You certainly don't stamp on their head while they're on the ground, which I saw them do. 2 stamps to the head. How that guy is alive, I presume he's still alive. There hasn't been anything in the news about it, so in all likelihood he is still alive. Either that or they can't find his family and they aren't releasing details because of that. I have to admit, I'm finding not knowing quite hard. I kind of need to know how it ended. I can't find peace with this. So I spent most of the night awake. It triggered my PTSD. Just the violence of it all and the stress triggered my PTSD quite badly. I had panic attacks the whole night. I cried for about 4 hours, and I just sat up, and Winter just cuddled up to me and spent the night licking my hands and kind of nuzzling me, trying to make me smile. And I eventually got to sleep about, 6, 7 this morning. 6 or 7 this morning, which would be Sunday morning. And on top of panic attacks triggered by just the stress and the violence of it, I was left with this horrible feeling of shame. My friends, I posted about this on Facebook, and my friends, lots of my friends said you did the right thing and you helped, you got the police involved, you stayed out of a fight you couldn't win. Yeah, I know I couldn't have won, but I'm still beating myself up inside because I didn't charge in to help him. A few years ago I would have. A few years ago I wouldn't have hesitated. But last night all I could think was, I'm a sick trans girl. Yeah, what can I do? I'm not physically strong anymore. I'm not. I'm maybe a little bit stronger than average for a woman of my size, but that's not all that strong. Being brutally honest, it's not. I'm not as fast as I was. I'm not as flexible as I was. I would have got killed. I know that. I would have been turned to mincemeat. And yet I'm still feel wrong because I didn't wade in and help or try to help. So I'm beating myself up over that, and at the same time I just want to know if he lived, if he survived, if he's okay. I don't really care why it started. I don't. I saw two guys kicking the shit out of a third guy. I mean, they just turned him into mincemeat, turned him into paste. The other thing is, I'm supposed to go to town on Friday. I'm not going to be now. I'm actually genuinely too nervous because of my panic attacks and the fact that I'm bursting into tears randomly. Instead, I'm going to go and go to the cinema and watch a movie. I'm scared to do that as well, but I feel like it's a more controlled environment. Sometimes I really don't understand this world. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.